Hey, welcome back to the Dirty Landry Experience. I'm CJ. The news out of Dallas today that Jerry Jones has decided, wait for it, to coach the Dallas Cowboys by himself. He says he's given the reins to other coaches for the last 30 years and they haven't been able to do it. So darn it, he's going to take over the team. He's 82 years old, but he's going to take it over himself and he's going to bring them back to the glory of the 90s. Now, would that surprise you if you saw that? It wouldn't surprise me. It would shock me. But regardless of that, the rumors around Dallas right now are that DEION Sanders is going to take over as the head coach. Despite the fact that Sanders has said the only way he would move to the NFL would be to coach both of his sons, not just one. They're both in this year's draft. Now, it's not like they're both first-round picks. SHEDEUR is a quarterback, and he's probably going to go 1, 2, or 3 in the draft. Cowboys have pick 12, so chances are that's not going to happen. And then therefore, right, that eliminates DEION Sanders from becoming the new head coach of the Dallas Cowboys? Not quite yet. His other son, SHILO, is a pretty good safety, but he's probably going to go in round 5, 6, 7, if at all, maybe be a free agent afterwards, a signing afterwards. Because the thing is, there's only 25 safeties that get drafted in an average NFL draft, about 40 or 50 defensive backs in all. So there's a chance he obviously would get drafted, but there's also a chance he may go through without. But the Dallas Cowboys have 10 picks. They have 6 of their own and 4 compensation picks. So with those picks, they've got more than the ability to, snag them in round 5 or 6. Get ahead of the curve and take them. And then you got one of them's that's the easy part. The difficult part is going to be to get the quarterback, SHEDEUR. Tennessee has first pick in the draft. Dallas Cowboys already have a quarterback. They don't have a coach. Tennessee doesn't have a quarterback. Oh, they've got Levis, who might still turn into something, and they've got Rudolph, but they're rebuilding, and they're the worst team in the league, and they've got top pick. So how do you get, if you're Dallas, how do you get top pick in the draft out of Tennessee? Well, Tennessee has 8 picks in this draft, I believe. They have no compensation picks. So they're rebuilding, and a few extra picks would be pretty cool. Dallas with pick 12. It's not that far-fetched to think that Dallas could finagle somehow to pick 1. Tennessee goes back to pick 12. A bunch of Cowboys go with the trade, all kinds of draft picks and so forth, and complicated as it probably would be. But it could happen. So really all Dallas has to do, all Jerry has to do to make the biggest splash, maybe in NFL history, never know, or at least in recent NFL history, to move from 12 to number 1, trade CeeDee Lamb or trade Dak Prescott or something like that. I don't know the logistics of it or any, but all I know is that Jerry Jones used to be the guy who every year made that big splash, and it's 30 years since they've done the big splash. I know I've got the jacket to prove it. I've been a Cowboy fan for a long time. And every year it's like, do I wear the jacket today or am I embarrassed to wear it? What was the score yesterday? What did Jerry say yesterday? So to get, prime time, DEION Sanders back to Dallas as the head coach, it isn't just money that's going to talk. It's getting the whole package together for the family. And if you look at sports history, it's not that often that fathers and sons have been on the same team. This year, Bronny James and LeBron James got to play together for the Lakers. Bronny, a second-round pick, 55th overall. And back in the 70s, Gordie Howe came out of retirement to play in a rival league. Biggest mistake NHL ever made was the rival league, the WHA, put all 3 players in one city in Houston. The National Hockey League, they wouldn't do that. Howe was still a Red Wing. Marty, I believe, was a Montreal Canadian, and Mark was a Boston Bruin, so there was no way they were going to play together. And Gordy always said, if you put them on the same team, I'll come back and play. So here's DEION suggesting the same thing. Now, it's not that Dallas is the only team in the league looking for a coach and has draft picks and the ability to get the first pick overall. But man, prime time, America's team, Jerry Jones, Deion Sanders, SHEDEUR, the top pick in the draft, the whole bit. That would be spectacular. And I would love to see that happen. Now, am I saying it's going to happen? No, I don't. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm saying that there is a possibility that you could see all that happen in the next week or two. There's also a possibility, a probability that it won't. So don't get your hopes up too high. You know, us Cowboy fans, we've learned to live with our indignities. We're kind of right there with the Jets and the Jags and the other teams that have kind of been flailing around for the last 20, 30 years. So, we're Cowboy fans. We're not proud and we're not bragging. We're just sort of getting like the rest of you out there. We're getting desperate to win a Super Bowl and make a splash, like turn the NFL on its ear. Get something happening here, Jerry. Deion Sanders, coach of the Cowboys, with his 2 kids on the team, man, it would just be like, it would turn the season into, you wouldn't even have to have a good year because it would be a building year, right? So I'm looking at it as, if you're Jerry and you're 82 years old and you got America's team, why not? Make it happen. You just have to convince Tennessee that in 2026, having a chance at Arch Manning might be better than holding out for SHEDEUR Sanders. That's all. I'm CJ. Enjoy the playoffs this weekend. Hopefully the referees get it right. There's no conspiracy, though. But I'll bet you this time next week we're talking and Kansas City's on to the next round. Oh, well. I'm CJ. Like and subscribe. Enjoy the week. Go Cowboys.